You know, I feel like we've been programmed not to realize our greatness. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, what we truly believe about ourselves comes from social media. It comes from what other people say about you, and you actually believe that shit, or things that you heard on the news, social media, Instagram, TikTok, and shit. You gonna hear all types of shit. And one thing I really want you to understand: if what you hear is not benefiting you, get that shit away from you, bro. Get it the fuck away. That's all I'm saying, bro. To understand and realize what a king is just position yourself in that. You're on the throne. Look at you. Like, how do you feel about yourself if you were a king? Like, if you were a king, what would you do? The way to open up your eyes is just as simple as that. What would you do if you were in a king's position right now? How would you move? How would you feel if you were a king? All you have to do is move from that standpoint in real life. It's like you're entering a portal. Once you enter that portal, that's who you are. Like, deadass. Once you enter this portal, that is who you are. Walk, talk, and act like a king. And literally, you'll become a king in real life. You'll show respect, you'll gain respect. You'll show love, you'll get love. Your goals, your aspirations, the things that you see that's all the way up here, bring that shit the fuck down, because you are the king. Like, deadass, if it was up here, you are up here with it. You are the fucking king. All the things that you see is like oohs and ahs, or, you know what I'm saying, that seemed like impossible. What is impossible to the king? Tell me. You tell me. I don't know anything that's not possible to any king in this world that where it was even in back in the day. You can make this king-like figure as something that was, you know, that's something that's fictional. That's okay. The king gets what he fucking wants. King Solomon, I often regard this King Solomon because I read this one story that he was a fucking G. Like, genuinely. It doesn't say it in the Bible he's a G, but if you break it down, you're like, yo, this motherfucker's a G. But King Solomon, he had 1,000 wives. Everything, his whole kingdom was made out of gold. Like, that was the fieriest part. It took, like, I think 20 years to make the temple or the church of God. It was all made out of gold. Like, that shit was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? All he rocked was nice shit. Everything he wore was fly. He looked good. Everything about him was fly. He's the fucking king. Wake up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that you got all of this money to go spend and splurge, but in order to be a king and be respected like one and get what the fuck you want from this world, you gotta act, talk, walk, and move like a motherfucking king, and you'll be a king. That's in the 48 Laws of Power. I haven't read that book in a minute, but I remember it from there. Like, deadass. He said, be royal in your fashion to get you some action. No cap. Like, if you're the king, all eyes are on you. Like, you just gotta wake up and realize that the barrier that you put upon yourself, like the king self's here, there's like this wall, and then there's like your regular ass self. You don't realize how great you actually are. You want to climb the wall, you want to break down the wall. All you have to do is lower down the wall and step into that light. Dead ass. How you would move, like if you had 1,000 girls. You wouldn't be scared to talk to a girl, right? Like how King Solomon had. He had 1,000 girls, bro. That was the least of his worries. He had all the gold, jewelry, all that. He did not care about any of that shit. It was bare minimum. He saw everything within his world and his kingdom as bare minimum. Yeah, make that shit out of gold. Like, he made the temple of God out of gold. Simple. Like, yeah, go do that. Like, what? You know, he was like regarded as the highest, and you are too. You just have to respect yourself. You got to open up to this. Regardless if you were fat, regardless if you were skinny, regardless if you were ugly. Most kings from back in the day, they were actually ugly as shit. Like, that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't know either. They was ugly as fuck too, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them were short, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But society tells you, oh, you gotta be tall, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. It's all garbage. That's what I'm trying to tell you from earlier. You gotta be careful what you listen to, because you're gonna be suckered out. He said, listen to a sucker for 2 seconds is too long. Don't listen to some shit that's not going to benefit you. You gonna hear shit like the black pill. You gonna hear shit about like the blue pill. Stay far away. That's like retarded shit. Like, yo, please. Motherfuckers think because you don't got hunter eyes and that you're not 6'5", that you're not gonna get no bitches. Like, yo, that was just something I seen the other day. Someone was exposing it. I was like, yo, perfect video. Thank you for making that video. Because what the fuck is this bullshit? But people actually believe that shit. That if you don't look the certain type of way or this, that, you ain't gonna have no success in life. Like, yo, you's a goofy. So get away from that shit. Hanging around the sucker for 2 seconds, too long, bro. So it's like once you take yourself away and realize your own greatness and you stop thinking all of that sucker shit that you can't do this, you can't do that. What can a king do? You know what I'm saying? What can a king do? He can do whatever he possibly wants. And this is why it's just so beautiful. is genuinely beautiful as fuck. And why wouldn't you see yourself as a king? Why are you worried about this, that, and the third? Walk, talk, and act like a king, and you'll see how your life changes. Deadass. Wear nice clothes, look good, smell good. Everything about you, make sure it's good. You know what I'm saying? If you out of shape, get in shape. Things like that. But like, you know, that's simple shit, but it's really the mind. Like, you got to really understand, when they say tap into infinite intelligence, I'm like, damn. Infinite intelligence, when it's really you're quiet, you're laid down, you're in a calm state, and you're thinking about things without your ego saying you can't do this, you can't do that. He said with man nothing's possible, with God anything's possible. That's what it means to tap into that infinite intelligence. Like, there's a nice Bible verse, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who in the form of God didn't think it was robbery to be equal with God. That's Philippians 2 chapter 2 verse 5 through 6. See yourself as higher. That stop disrespecting yourself, taking away the wall that's standing in between of who you want to be, and move exactly from that state. You are flowing, you are the king, you're good, everything comes to me. Whatever it is, whatever your mind is holding you and limiting to you, know that there's another version of you. Boom, that's the version you claim. Yep, that's me. Simple. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be stressing no little shit. That's why it's so beautiful, because once you unlock that king-like mindset, you go around your way and everything comes to you. Like, you are actually him. When you step through the cut, you're that dude. But a lot of people really don't realize it. It's because they are shielded by the 3D of what they have right now. They might not have as much money. They might not feel as confident. Fuck all that. There's actually a really good movie I would advise you guys to go watch about an alter ego. Alter ego is just a higher version of yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? The one that does what he wants, when he wants, whenever he wants. You see what I'm saying? And there's this one movie, it's called Fight Club. Fight Club is fire. It's basically based off a dude who hates his life. He's done with his life. He's just like bored. He's just living the regular American dream, just living like a bot. You know, he's not living to his full potential. So basically the guy doesn't get any sleep at night, and he imagines someone throughout his life. He can't sleep, so he's imagining shit. So he imagines that there's another character here that talks to him, and he's like the man. He's a good looking dude. You know what I'm saying? He has sex, right? Everything about him is great. You know what I'm saying? Basically, deadass does what he wants. He be rocking shit, knocking dudes out left and right, shit like that. All it is that he imagines someone. But throughout the movie, you realize everything that Tyler does, the character name is Tyler. Everything that Tyler does, the main character, let's say his name is John. John is just doing what Tyler is doing. He just envisioned Tyler and was moving in line with him. And he did everything that he wanted to do. Deadass. Go watch that movie. You gonna see it's some wild shit. Like, he do some wild shit. But you like, oh shit. This is what you're capable of when that wall is not there. When that mind state is in you. That king mind state is in you, bro. Nothing's impossible. Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people go into Christ consciousness or your subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. It's infinite intelligence. That is where your ego is detached, and you realize, yeah, with my ego, with who I am, how I think, I know I can't do this because the 3D is withholding me. But when you're detached from that shit and you're using your imagination, you can imagine the most craziest shit and it will be manifested upon your life. You know what I'm saying? We manifest without us realizing it. So that's when you enter the God state, basically, and you're thinking basically like a god. Then you exceed this shit. Like, everything that you really view upon that you can't do because you feel like you're just human, you can't do this, you might feel anxious or all that, that's garbage. You enter God state, you realize what is possible because all things are possible with God, and you move like that. He said, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Move like that. Jesus did things that nobody could have done. But he wouldn't have done it if he couldn't believe in himself. That's the God state. That's the king state. Tripping over money. You tripping over all of this shit. Nah, none of that. You don't trip over that because you are the king. You get what you want. And you enter that state and develop that. And it becomes your natural state. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Your king-like mind state is your natural born state. That is who you are. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, alter ego's bad, blah, 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 blah. Bro, follow that shit. Follow your intuition of who you actually want to be. Because this is your life. This isn't anybody else's life that judges you for who you want to be. If you want to move and act like a king and really be a king, that is your state regardless. That is who you were regardless. It's just other people haven't been awoken to that. They dwell upon petty little shit, all of their problems, all of it. It's not a problem when you're a king. You know that you're a king. Anything that happens within your life, you know you're good because you are a king. natural born. Like, this is your regular state. It's not until you wake up to that shit. So all the things that you see are impossible. You gotta lower them down, because if you're a true king and you really develop this state, all of that shit is possible. Not even that it's possible. Let me really give it to you raw and uncut. The things that you see are impossible. That's actually bare minimum. That is what happens when you wake up to really be a king. Anything that you really want in this world, that's your bare minimum. Like driving this car, bare minimum. Success, bare minimum. Women, bare minimum. Jewelry, bare minimum. House, bare minimum. All of it is just bare minimum shit once you enter the state. Because just like how King Solomon was, he had 1,000 wives. He didn't really give a fuck about that shit. He took it off the pedestal. Everyone else is looking at, having 1,000 wives, blah, 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 all these women. That's crazy. He's just like, that's bare minimum shit. That's my life. Like, that's my life. Regular shit. But like Jesus said, with man, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So once you enter that state, you realize that it becomes your regular shit. You're going to end up just evolving. You just see things as bare minimum shit to you. It doesn't phase you. Negative shit won't phase you. All of the crazy shit that a lot of people, or maybe your past version, would have seen as crazy, that, you became successful in whatever you do. You accomplish your goals. Once you enter the state, it's like, yep, it's bare minimum. Like, it's just regular shit. And that's the most important part of entering that king state, is not dwelling upon negative shit, not giving a fuck about that shit, staying far away from that shit, especially far from the sucker shit you hear on the social media shit. I'm telling you, that shit ain't going to benefit you. If it's not uplifting you, get it away. If it's not recognizing your true greatness, be gone. Let those other people deal with those issues, because that's not your issue. It only became your issue because you really believed it. And you seen what you seen, and you believed that shit, and it became a part of you. You know what I'm saying? They'll see other people suffer because they believe that shit. If you believe in suffering, you will suffer. If you believe in negativity, mediocrity, being a fucking regular dude, you will be that. But say you believe that you're a king, and you know that you're a king. That's your bare minimum. Like, dead eyes. You'll see all of these people suffer regular life shit, just regular petty shit, and you're just like, not my issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't got those problems. So being a king is genuinely your regular natural born state. That's your birthright. That's just who you are by nature. It's just you are stuck by how you look, where you come from, how much money you got. You're stuck by the materialistic regular bot shit. Detach from that. Realize that anything's possible with God. You are a king. That's who you are. Whatever you want, goals, dreams, visions, bring them down. That's bare minimum shit, or keep them up here because you are up here too. Whatever you want, it's bare minimum. Your natural born state's a king. So I love y'all, bro. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna leave my last video right here for you guys. So if you missed upon that, go watch that video. So stay yourself, stay 300. Whatever you do in life, trust me, I believe you, bro.